So the left is losing their collective minds over the New York Times report that says the FBI opened an inquiry into whether President Trump was secretly working for Russia. And the article barely says more than the title, just that it started after James Comey was fired by Trump, whose wife is a known Hillary Clinton supporter and activist. The Times cannot even confirm if this investigation is still ongoing or not, which I highly doubt because it was leaked in this manner, which usually does not happen if it were still ongoing. So that means that they have found nothing to link Trump to working for Russia, but really is that a surprise? If you look at the things Trump has done against Russia, the story quickly becomes clear. He has levied sanctions against Russia for the invasion of Crimea. He levied sanctions against Russia for the UK poisoning of the couple. He has also sent extra troops to Syria to help support U.S.-supported rebels in the area that fight against the Syrian government and Russian troops. The economy in the United States is doing one of its best ever times under Trump right now. Do you really think that this was Putin's idea of undermining America? Did he sit back and said, Donald, what we really need you to do is strengthen the United States, take it as a more nationalist stance where you support your own citizens more than the international people of the world? Do you think that's really what Russia wanted for the United States? I mean, just think about it for 2 seconds. But of course, people over here on Our Politics are losing their minds, as they always are, because almost everything on here is about Trump. If you want to just quickly go through it, which I know many of you won't, but they're obsessed, and that's really all they can do. So it's really ridiculous. But Trump is a nationalist who has America's best interests at heart, which I believe every leader should be a nationalist and put their people first, the ones who elected them and the ones who they work for and represent. Is it really a surprise that Trump would be a nationalist because of the grassroots movement which has elected him? And President Trump has actually lost money since he's taken office and only takes home one symbolic dollar of his $400,000 presidential salary. He's not in this for the money. That much is clear. Nancy Pelosi, on the other hand, makes about $170,000 a year and is somehow worth hundreds of millions of dollars. People like Nancy and Cryan Truck just want to cement their party's political power by importing people from third world socialist nations because they believe these people will vote Democrat every time. This is about power, plain and simple. This isn't about virtue. It's not because these people feel that they're actually good people. It's because they want to retain the reins of power. And that's what it's always been about, a globalist push. They want to go back to the Obama administration of worrying more about global politics than what's going on right here at home. They don't want a wall because that will be a huge win for Trump. And they know that they would probably forfeit the 2020 elections if they give it to him. People want border security. Americans want border security. We want to know who's coming into our country. And that's not immoral. That's not wrong. That's not evil. To want to know who's coming into your nation, who's living next door to you. These are things that people have a right to know. We have a right to know exactly who is coming in, what they're about. Are they going to benefit the United States? We shouldn't just be the handout station of the world. This is not what we were designed to be. And every time somebody wants to point to the poem on the Statue of Liberty, well, guess what? That was written at a later time. This isn't something the Founding Fathers envisioned when they created America. We're not supposed to just be a place where anyone and everyone just gets in free, scot-free, doesn't have to contribute anything and gets a handout. I'm sorry, but that's wrong. And like I said, this probe that they're talking about is just ridiculous. It doesn't even cite real sources. I mean, it cites, I think, one person down here, former FBI General Counsel James Baker. That's it. The other ones are all unnamed former law enforcement officials and others familiar with the investigation. This is the same thing that happens all the time. They come out with stories, they come out with slander, and it's always unsubstantiated and uncited. But would you really expect anything else from the mainstream media, which is just a propaganda arm for the Democrat Party at this point. But all right, everybody, I just want to touch on the subject a little bit, make you aware of what's going on. If you'd like some new content, just go ahead and like and subscribe and maybe comment down below. And as always, I appreciate it.